Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the 1969 National League Pennant Chase. And as Kenny Loggins once sang, this is it. No tomorrow for the Mets. It's the Cubs and the Mets. October 1st, there are 2 games left in the season, and the Cubs lead the Mets by 2, so the situation is pretty clear. Mets have to sweep in order to catch up to the Cubs, and even then, if they sweep, then they would have to beat them in a 3rd game in the playoff, a 1-game playoff, in order to win the division. So, work cut out for the Mets in this one. Giants hold a 2-game lead on the Dodgers with 2 to play. So, any combination of a Dodger loss or a Giant win would end that division race. If the Cubs beat the Mets, that ends that division race. So, if by chance the Cubs beat the Mets and eliminate the Mets today, and either San Fran wins or LA loses on the ticker, both races will be decided. There will not be an October 2nd game played at all on the replay because it would be pointless because the divisions would be over. Instead, I would set things up for a NLCS between the Cubs and the Giants. But that's premature. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Mets have something to say about it, and they're going to put their best foot forward, or maybe their second best foot forward, as they use left-hander Jerry Kuzman to face the left-hander Ken Holtzman. So not the 2 aces. You don't have Seaver against Ferguson Jenkins, but you're pretty close right here. And if it does go to tomorrow, the Mets win and they extend it, it'll be Gary Gentry for the Mets against Bill Hands for the Cubs. So you won't see Jenkins or Seaver unless there's a 1-game playoff. That would be the only way that would happen. All right, let's look at the starting lineups. First for the Mets, Cleon Jones is in left, Bud Harrelson's at short, Tommy Agee in center, Don Clendenin at first, Ron Swoboda in right, Jerry Grody catching, Ed Charles at third, Al Weitz at second, and Jerry Kuzman on the mound. For the Dodgers, Don Kessinger at short, Paul Popovich at second, Billy Williams in left, Ron Santo at third, Ernie Banks at first, Jim Hickman in right, Randy Hundley catching, Don Young in center, and Ken Holtzman on the mound. So for the most part, both teams are playing their standard lineups. The only change maybe is Glenn Beckert usually plays second for the Cubs, but in this case they're using Popovich. And we are just about ready to get going here in this October 1st game. It's going to decide the NL East, or at least a chance to decide the NL East. We are at Wrigley Field, as you can see in the background, as I borrowed Wrigley Field from another source that might be recognizable to many. All right, so let's see here. In the real game, the Mets won this real game 6-5. We'll see if they can pull that off again or whether the Cubs will wrap it up and not have to worry about tomorrow. All right. So Ken Holtzman finishing up those warm-up tosses now. And he'll be facing Cleon Jones. Do one last check, and I think we're okay. We're underway. 5-3. Strikeout chance 12 is too high, so Cleon Jones does get to swing. 6-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to short, 1 away. So 1 down, and that brings up Bud Harrelson. Holtzman, a 6-1 range play at Wrigley Field. 1-2 is a question mark 9 for a, let's see here. That's a 1, so that's a base hit. That's a single to right, but it's a range play for the right fielder, Jim Hickman, who's a 2. So 1-2, he'll field this. He does not. It's not going to be a range play. It's going to be a single. So base hit to right field by Bud Harrelson, a 1-out single, and the Mets are in business right away. His attempt, though, was only a 1, and he's not going to. Nothing's happening with that. That brings up Tommy Agee. Infield is halfway for the Cubs. Looking to turn 2. 5-3 is a strikeout chance, but they'll take the strikeout against the lefty. He's a 14, -1's a 13. That is a 13. Agee is out on strikes, 2 down. And that'll bring up the power hitting Don Clendenin. Check for a strategy roll. Nothing happening. Holtzman to Clendenin. 1-3. Possible error on a ground ball. Clendenin, 3-4. Ground ball to short. The shortstop, Kessinger, is a 6. That's a 13, so Kessinger will make the play, and the inning is over. So the Mets unable to take advantage of that 1-out single. We go to the bottom of the first. It is the Mets nothing, Cubs coming to bat. And Jerry Kuzman, the lefty, finishing up those warm-up tosses, will be facing Don Kessinger. To lead it off, it would be Kessinger, Popovich, and Williams. Kuzman, 1-4. That's a walk plus. Kessinger is a switch hitter batting right-handed. That is a walk plus. So leadoff walk to Kessinger, not how you want to start if you're the Mets. Kessinger does have an attempt of 2, but nothing's happening. So that will bring up Paul Popovich. He's an excellent bunter, so they're going to have him bunt. He's going to be looking to bunt. First, we roll on Kuzman. 3-6. That's a strikeout chance. That's a 2. And against a lefty, he strikes out at an 8. That's a 7. So he's gone. Struck him out. Struck him out. So he won't get the chance to bunt. He strikes out instead. And that brings up sweet swinging Billy Williams. Roll strategy. Nothing happening. Infield halfway. Koosman, 6-6. That's a walk chance. 16 is too high. We go to Williams' card. That's a 1-2. He's going to ground it to third. Possible double play. He's a 2. Koosman adds 1, makes it a 3. They were halfway, makes it a 4. Pivot is second base. Weiss, he's a 0. So 1-4, and they turn the double play. And they do not. It's runner advance. So the runner will advance on that one. It's just a 5-3 ground out for out number 2. And Kessinger will take second base. So Kessinger is now in scoring position with 2 down for Ron Santo. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Kuzman to Santo, 6-5. Strikeout chance too high. Santo gets to swing. 1-5, and he's going to single to center field. Ron Santo kicking those heels together, singling to center field. Score from second on an S8. You add 2 to the base running rating. There are already 2 outs. That makes we're adding 3 to Kessinger's base running rating. That makes Kessinger a 7. AG is a 0, so he will score without a throw. And it's 1-0 Cubs. Ron Santo. Hey, hey, as Jack Brickhouse would say. Ron Santo with a base hit. He has no attempt, so he won't go anywhere. That'll bring up Ernie Banks. Nothing on the strategy roll. Kuzman to Banks, 5-3. That's a double question mark against a right-hander. 1-18 is an automatic out. That's a 13, so it will be an out. And that out will be a ground ball to third to end the inning. But the Cubs take a 1-0 lead on the Ron Santos single. And at the end of 1, it's 1-0 Cubbies. Ken Holtzman, tough in his last outing against the Pirates. Got him that victory. Now here's Juan Swoboda, right fielder. 5-6, that's an automatic out. Automatic out, and it will be a ground ball to short. 1 down as Kessinger puts it away. Throws over to Banks. Here's Jerry Grody. 1-5, hit by the pitch. Grody's a 2, but he's a -2, so no hit by the pitch. Grody does get to swing. 2-3, grounds to short, so shortstop over there. Kessinger's getting a lot of work. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Ed Charles. 5-5, and that's a strikeout chance, 7, and he got him. So Ed Charles down on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Holtzman. And the Mets better pick it up if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. Kuzman back out. Will now face the right fielder, Jim Hickman. 4-5, and that's a blank, so we'll go to Hickman's card. 6-2, he's going to line it to third. Snagged over there by Ed Charles, 1 down. It's Randy Hundley, the catcher. 6-1, strikeout chance. That's a 13. He kind of went in the shadow there, but that's too high, so Hundley gets the swing. 4-4, and he's going to take advantage of it. A single pass second for Randy Hundley. He's got an attempt of 1, but nothing's happening. So infield's halfway for center fielder Don Young. 5-1, strikeout chance, 13, got him. That's 2 down. And that brings up the pitcher, Holtzman, who, although he pitches left-handed, bats right-handed. Strategy roll for Kuzman, nothing's happening. 4-5, and that's a blank. We go to Holtzman's card. 4-5 again. It's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So 2 innings are in the books here at Wrigley. And we got 1-0 Cubbies. Holtzman back out. Will face second baseman Al Weiss, followed by Kuzman and Cleon Jones. 6-1 range play at Wrigley Field. 4-2, and that's a single plus to left field, but it's a range check of Cleon Jones, it's a range check of the left fielder Williams, who's a 3. So 1-3, he will prevent this single. 4 or more, we got a chance for extra bases. That's a 3, so Billy Williams was able to run it down and took a base hit away from Al Weiss, potentially taking a double away from Al Weiss. Here's Kuzman. He also pitches left-handed but bats right-handed. 6-3, and since he bats right-handed, it will not be a star line. It'll be a blank. Kuzman does get the swing, although it is 0-48. 3-1, he's going to ground it back to Holtzman, and that's an easy out, 2 down. For Cleon Jones, 3-1's a walk, and that's too high. For Cleon Jones, 5-3, flies to right, and that's going to end the inning. So through 3 innings, Holtzman's been in charge, and the Cubs still lead it 1-0. Going to the bottom of the 3rd. Going to bring up Kessinger. Kessinger will lead it off. 1-6 range play. We've got a range play on Kessinger's card right away. 4-5, and that's a star 4, which is a fly to left. That is Cleon Jones. He is a 4. 1-4 to get to this. And he does. So Cleon Jones, if Billy Williams takes a hit away in the top of the inning in left field, and Cleon Jones says, anything you can do, I can do as well. And maybe better. So there it is. Fly to left. 1 down. Here's Popovich. 3-6 strikeout chance, and Popovich is gone again. He's 0-2. So he has not fared well against Mr. Kuzman. Brings up Billy Williams. 3-6 strikeout chance. 18's too much. Billy Williams, 3-3. That's a fly to center. Innings over. So 3 innings are in the books. Moseying right along here in Wrigley. 1-0 Cubs. Cubs looking to put this away and head to the NLCS against either the Giants or the Dodgers. Here's Bud Harrelson. 5-5 strikeout chance, and Harrelson is out of there. 1 down. Brings up Tommy Agee. He struck out his first chance. 6-4 against a lefty. That's a star line. Agee's a righty, so that's a blank. Agee gets the swing. 4-3, and that's a single pass short. So Tommy Agee, the 1-out single. He's got an attempt of 3, but nothing's going on. Can't get the jump. Here's Clendenin. Infield is halfway. 2-6, that's the ballpark card going to Wrigley Field, and Clendenin's got the power if he can find these home run opportunities here at Wrigley. 1-1, that's a home run to center field. He's a 19, that's a 9. It's a 2-run homer for Don Clendenin. Clendenin just blasts one over the head of Don Young, the center fielder, up into the fans in the center field bleachers. Right over here by the backdrop, right up the top of the backdrop is where he hit that. And the Mets lead it 2-1 on the Don Clendenin blast. And the Mets, all of a sudden, their bench is getting some life to it. They were dejected, but now their spirits have picked up. Here's Swoboda. 5-4, that's a walk chance. 20 is too high. Go to Swoboda. 1-2, he's going to fly to center. That's out number 2. And that sends us to Jerry Grody, the catcher. Holtzman, 2-5, blank. Strikeout against a lefty, but not against a righty. Grody, 5-6. He's going to ground it back to Holtzman, and that's going to end the inning. But a big 2-run homer from Don Clendenin has given the Mets a 2-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Now Kuzman's entrusted with that 2-1 lead. He'll be facing Ron Santo, who had that big RBI single in the 1st to give the Cubs their run. 4-4. He's not tired, so there's no single there. Go to Santo. 5-6. He's going to fly to left. 1 down. Mets win. We play tomorrow. If not, the division is wrapped up and over. Ernie Banks, 2-1. Ballpark, we're going back to Wrigley Field. That could be dangerous. Banks does have complete home run power against lefties. 4-3. That's a blank. We're going to the rare play chart. the replay baseball rare play chart with the bases empty, rolling 2d6s and adding them up. We get a 12. How about that? And there's one out. So we're going to hear bases empty, and we roll the 12, and there's one out. And it talks about batter hit by pitch. If any batter on either team has been hit by a pitch previous in the game, both teams are giving warning by the umpire. If any batter on either team is hit later in the game, the offending pitcher will immediately be ejected. Well, nobody's been hit yet, so that's not going to come into play. So we will just reboot the hold at bat for Ernie Banks. And let's see here, 6-3 is a strikeout chance, and he got him. So Ernie Banks out on strikes. 2 down for Jim Hickman. 1-3, that's a home run question mark for Hickman against a right-hander. That passes automatically, and Hickman is a 20. That is gone. We got a tie game at 2. Jim Hickman puts that in the bleachers, and we have a tie game at 2. So the lead by the Mets and their joy only lasted for a short period of time. We are tied at 2. Randy Hundley, 1-6 range play. Go to Hundley, 5-1. Fly to center. Range is Agee, he's a 5. And Agee makes the play to end the inning, but Jim Hickman did the damage with his home run. And at the end of 4, we are tied at 2. Brand new ball game. And here's Ken Holtzman to face Ed Charles. Bottom of the order, Charles, Weiss, and Kuzman due up for the Mets. 4-2 range play going to Ed Charles. 4-4, that's a single past third, but we're checking the range of Santo, and Ron Santo's range is a 4. And it can't get it. It's a base hit. And that is a base hit. It's already a single. We're not checking for a double. It's going to be a straight out single for Ed Charles. Snuck it past Santo between the shortstop and third base hole for a base hit. Ed Charles is a 3 attempt rating. 15, nothing happening. Here's Al Weiss. He's an excellent bunter, but you got the pitcher on deck, so going to have to probably go along with, well, we'll roll the strat roll first, see if anything's happening. It's not. So Weiss is going to swing away. Infield is halfway. 4-3, and Weiss is switch hitter batting right-handed, so that's going to be, actually, I'm sorry, 4-3 is the ballpark. I was looking here at 3-3. 4-3 is Wrigley Field, so we're going to Wrigley Field again. Usually good for the hitter when that happens. 6-5, it's a single plus. Single plus. So a single plus for Weiss, that's to center field. Charles will automatically get the 2-base advancement. Weiss either has a single, a double, or he's going to be out trying for a double. The center fielder arm, Young, is a 0. Weiss runs at a 3. So 1-3, and he'll make it. 6, he's out trying. So how about that? He's out 8 to, we'll call it 8-6 covering, shortstop covering. And Kessinger put the tag on Weiss. He got a little bit too rambunctious. Instead of having runners at the corners and nobody out, we got a runner at third and 1 out now with the pitcher Jerry Kuzman, who's not a good bunter, so the possibility of doing a squeeze play seems to be taken out of the equation pretty much. Infield is in, though, for the Cubs. They're trying to cut that run off. Holtzman to Kuzman, 5-6. That's an automatic out. Let's see what kind of out it is. It's a 2. It's a ground ball to third. Runner at third, Charles, is a 4, but halfway makes him a 2. Do they try to send him? That's the question. A 1-2, he would score, but 3, 4, 5, or 6, he would be out. So they're going to hold him and hope that Cleon Jones can get a base hit. So they check the runner. He stays put. 2 down, and it's up to Cleon Jones to bring him home. The odds just weren't, in their favor for that. Here's strategy roll for Holtzman. Nothing happening. Cleon Jones trying to bring in Ed Charles from third if possible. 3-3. Starline against a lefty, but Jones is a righty, so it's a blank. We go to Jones. 5-3. He flies to right to end the inning. So, you could have sent him, but the odds just weren't in your favor, and you had a good hitter in Cleon Jones, a 340 hitter coming up. I felt like the best play was to hold him. Never know now. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you look like you're a genius, but if you roll 3, 4, 5, or 6, you look pretty dumb. So just playing the percentages. That's what Gil Hodges was doing, playing the percentages. Just didn't work out. All right, so a missed opportunity. The big play was having Al Weiss thrown out. That was the big one. All right, here's Don Young against Kuzman. 6-5 strikeout chance, 13 got him. He has struck out twice. Here's Holtzman. 6-3, another strikeout chance, and he got him too, so 2 down. Top of the order for Kessinger. 2-3 strikeout chance, got him too. He struck out the side. So Kuzman strikes out the side, and we go to the 6th, still tied at 2. Both pitchers are in good shape fatigue-wise, so they're good for at least 2 more innings, I would think. Bud Harrelson's going to lead it off. He's 1 for 2. 3-1 is a walk, and 11 is going to be too much, so Harrelson will get the swing. 4-1, he's going to star for it, ground ball to short. And that's handled over there again by Kessinger. He's been a busy man over there. Going to wear his arm out throwing to first base. So there's 1 away for Tommy Agee. 5-4, that's a potential walk. That's a 9, so he will walk. Tommy Agee draws the 1-out walk. He does have an attempt of 3, but nothing's happening. Here's Clendenon. He had the big 2-run homer his last time up. Infield is halfway. 4-3, and that's the ballpark card again, so maybe Clendenon can find a home run again on Wrigley Field. We'll see. 3-3, no, it's a question mark 7. That's a 7. That's a double. A double for Don Clendenon. So he's come through with a home run and a double to center field. To score from first on a double to center field, you gain 1 on your base running rating. Agee runs at a 4, that makes him a 5. Center fielder arm, Young is a 0. So 1 to 5, he scores. Anything other than a 6, he will score on the red die. Anything other than a 6, and the Mets have taken the lead. And they do. So it's a RBI double for Clendenon. He's been the man so far, and the Mets now lead it 3-2. RBI double by Clendenon. And that brings up Swoboda. Nothing on the strategy roll. Holtzman. 5-5 strikeout chance. 13. Not enough. Go to Swoboda. 3-1. He's going to fly to center. That's out number 2. Now, Clendenon only runs at a 3, so -3 would be a 0, so there's no chance for him to move up. So he will stay put at second base with 2 down for Jerry Grody. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Holtzman, 2-2, strikeout chance, he got him. Innings over, but the Mets get the big run on the Clendenon double. And they take a 3-2 lead going to the bottom of the 6th. Kuzman looking now to get a second chance to hold that lead, and he's gonna try to take advantage of it. Popovich will lead off. He struck out twice. He is a .284 hitter, but he did strike out twice. 3-6, he's got a chance to strike out 3 times, but the 20 is too high. So Popovich does get to swing. 3-5, it's star 3, ground ball to third. And Ed Charles takes care of that. 1 down. Here's Billy Williams, left fielder. Kuzman, 3-6, strikeout chance, but too high. Williams gets to swing. 1-1, he flies to left, 2 down. And that'll bring up Ron Santo. 1-1, and that's a blank versus a right-hander, so Santo gets to take a hack. 1-2, and he flies to left. Inning's over. So 1-2-3 inning. And the Mets lead it 3-2 as we go to the 7th. Holtzman back out. He has faced 24 batters. He can face 29, so he's still good. Ed Charles will lead it off. 2-3, that's a ball 1. 2-3 again, that's ball 2. 5-2, strikeout chance, 18's too much. We go to Charles's card. 6-6, he's going to single. Ed Charles, a leadoff single. He is now 2 for 3, rather. And now that brings up Al Weiss. Again, he's an excellent bunter, but then you got the pitcher on deck. And you're not going to pinch hit for Kuzman the way he's pitching, so you're just going to have to let Al Weiss swing away, I guess. Take your chances that he doesn't hit into a double play. 5-1 strikeout chance, 6 got him. That's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. So 1 out, if you're a Mets fan, that is. For here's Kuzman. Nothing on the strat roll. Kuzman swinging away, 5-2 strikeout, and he got him, so 2 down for the top of the order and Cleon Jones. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Holtzman to Cleon, 1-4, strikeout chance, 20's too much. Cleon Jones, 2-1. He's going to single to right field for Cleon Jones. Ed Charles runs at a 4. There are 2 outs, makes him a 5. To get from first to third on a single to right, you add 2, makes him a 7. Right fielder arm is a 0, so he will make it to third without a throw. Runners are on the corners with 2 down. And now Holtzman has faced 28 batters. This is batter number 29 coming up. And that's the last batter he can face before he is fatigued. And they do have relief pitchers loosening in the bullpen due to the Cubs. Let's see, they have right-hander Ted Abernathy loosening in the bullpen. But right now, let's see, Cleon Jones has an attempt of 3, but nothing's happening. So that's going to bring up Bud Harrelson with runners on the corners and 2 down. Holtzman 2-4. That's possible error on a throw. Harrelson 4-6, star 1, ground ball to second. Possible error on a throw. Popovich is a 6, but that's a 20, so no error. The inning will be over, and Holtzman gets out of it. So we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Wrigley. This is before Harry Carey, obviously. We had Jack Brickhouse. I don't think Jack Brickhouse sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," but you're more than welcome to do so as we set up the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Banks, Hickman, and Hundley. Holtzman is 5 batters away, so they would be pinch hitting for him if they get to that. And let's see who they would use. They would probably use Glenn Beckert as their pinch hitter against a lefty. Willie Smith would pinch hit against a right-hander, but he doesn't do well against lefties. So it would be Glenn Beckert, most likely. He seems to be the candidate that would pinch hit if they get to that. Getting ahead of myself. Right now, here's Ernie Banks. He's 0 for 2. 1-5, that's a range play on Ernie Banks' card. 2-1 to fly to right. Range of the right fielder, Swoboda. He's only at 2. And he can't get it. Is it going to be a double? No, just a single for Ernie Banks. But he's aboard as a tying run. He has no attempt, so he won't try to go anywhere. Jim Hickman, the batter, he homered his last time up. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Hickman's not bunting for sure. Infield is halfway. Kuzman, 6-4. That's a blank. We go to Hickman's card. 2-5, star 4. And that's a fly to left field, so 1 away. Hickman is retired. Brings up Randy Hundley. Again, the strategy roll, nothing happening. Koosman to Hundley, 2-4. Strikeout chance, 13's too high. Hundley gets the swing. 4-3, that's a fly to center, 2 down. And it's going to be up to Don Young. Don Young has struck out twice, 0 for 2. Kuzman, 2-4, strikeout. He struck him out again, got the hat trick. Don Young struck out all 3 times, and that's going to end the inning. We go to the 8th, still 3-2. Now, Holtzman is set to lead off the next inning, but I think with these right-handers coming up and the fact that he's getting tired, that's going to be it for Ken Holtzman. He's going to go 7 innings, give up 3 runs. And we will have Ted Abernathy as the new pitcher. So Ted Abernathy, he's just in there for 1 inning only. Unless they want to do a double switch. Let's see. They might want to double switch with Don Young because he was having his issues. Let's see. Do they have anybody to play center field is the question. Let's see here. Not really. Well, they got Al Spangler, but he's a lefty, so you know what? I think they're just going to let Abernathy pitch this inning, and that's going to be it. But Holtzman is now done. Don't know why I put the thing here. Kuzman's still in the game, so I don't know why I did that. Get that backwards there. Sorry about that. All right, so top of the 8th, 3-2 Mets lead. Tommy Agee will lead it off against the new pitcher Ted Abernathy, who was 4-3, 3.18 ERA and 3 saves in 56 appearances. 1-6 is a ball one. 1-1, that's a possible error on a throw. 4-4, ground ball to second. Second baseman error rating Popovich is a 6. That's a 7, so Popovich, a rough throw of it, but Banks made the stretch and makes the play, 1 down. Here's Clendenin, he's homered and doubled, but those at-bats were against the lefty Holtzman. See what he does against a righty. 4-2 is a range play. Go to Clendenin, 6-6, that's a single past the pitcher Abernathy, but his range is a 5. So if this is not a 6, he will take that hit away. And he does, so Abernathy makes a really nice play, takes a hit away from Clendenin, and that'll bring up Swoboda with 2 outs and the bases clear. 2-1, strikeout chance against a right-hander, and he got him. So Abernathy, a very nice 8th inning. His work is done for the day. They want to keep him available for tomorrow just in case, so he's only going to go 1 inning. 1 shutout inning, I should say. Kuzman now comes in, and we need a pinch hitter for Abernathy, and it will be Glenn Beckert. So Glenn Beckert will get the call to pinch hit. They do have Willie Smith on the bench, but he's much better against a right-hander. Doesn't need any home runs or anything off of a lefty. So we're going to go ahead and let Beckert pinch hit. And Beckert is a 291 hitter, where Willie Smith is only a 246 hitter. So average-wise, it just makes sense to use Beckert in this situation. And this is batter number 27 for Kuzman. He can face 30, so he may be out of here after this inning. We shall see. Kuzman to Beckert, 2-2, ballpark card. We're going to Wrigley Field. That could be bad news for the pitcher. That's a 4-4, and that's going to be a single past shortstop. So a pinch hit single for Glenn Beckert. He's got an attempt of 1, but nothing's happening. But Beckert does reach. He's got a base run rating of 4, so he does run well. No need to pinch run for him at all. Here's Kessinger. He's a 3 bunter if they wanted to try bunting. But he's also a 273 hitter. How do they want to play this? Let's see. I think they're going to bunt. They're going to have him bunt. So first of all, Kuzman's going to pitch to him. 5-4. And a 5-4 is a walk chance, but 10 is too much for that. So Kessinger will now bunt. He's a 3 bunter, becomes a 2 bunter. And that's a 19. That could be interesting. A 2 and a 19 is a bunted hard, too hard, proceeds you with a ground ball double play. All right, so Kessinger, double play rating's a 1, and the bunt is 2. According to this red die, it went to the pitcher. So it went to Kuzman. So since it goes to Kuzman, you automatically get a bump on the double play rating. So he's a 1. Kuzman adds 1, plus it went to the pitcher. That makes it a 3. Let's see here. And the pivot for a right-hand hitter would be the second baseman, Weiss. He's a 0. 1-3, and of course they were halfway, or in the corner, so that makes it a 1-4, I think, is how that should be played. I'm thinking it's 1-4 instead of 1-3. We'll see. It's a 1, doesn't matter. They got the double play. So it's bunted too hard, and Kuzman makes a 1-4-3 double play, and the decision to bunt was not a good one. So, unfortunately for them, for the Cubs, that is, that double play really kind of put the schneid on their rally. Here's Popovich. This is batter number 29 for Kuzman, so he's still okay. 1-1 gets a switch hitter batting right-handed. It's a blank. 2-2, and that's a single to center field for Popovich. So good thing that double play really now is looming large. He has no chance to advance. This is Billy Williams, and this is batter number 30. So he is not tired. He'll be tired on the very next batter, which would be Santo. And the Mets have already got their bullpen ready to go, as they have right-hander Ron Taylor loosing in the pen to come in if Kuzman cannot get it done. But right now it's Billy Williams, strategy roll, nothing happening. Kuzman to Williams, 2-6, strikeout chance. He is not tired because this is batter number 30. So he is not tired. the strikeout chance holds up. That's a 5. He's a 6. -1's a 5. He struck him out. So Kuzman, with that last gasp, was able to get him. And we go to the 9th with a score of 3-2. That will be all for Kuzman. His day is done. Ron Taylor has already picked up or has already come in from the bullpen. He is ready to go. He is their closer with 13 saves, and he would be the guy to come on. Ron Taylor will be the new pitcher. So Koosman goes 8, and Ron Taylor will take over. Now let's check the Mets here in the bottom of the 8th. Do they want to make any defensive changes with the lead? I think, well, let's see. Swoboda's in right. But he's only an error rating of 2, just his range is not very good, despite the highlight reel play he made in the World Series. Let's see who they've got that they can bring in the outfield, if anybody. They got Rod Gaspar. So we're going to have a double switch, actually. Rod Gaspar is going to come into play right field. He's a much better defender at a 4.8 and a -2. So Rod Gaspar is going to come on and bat 9th and take over in right field, where he is a 4 and 8 and a -2 arm. So much, much better. And then Ron Taylor is going to pitch in the number 5 position. And Taylor's a 2 and a 0. All right. That's what's going to happen in the bottom of the 9th. But right now we're in the top of the 9th. So Rod Gaspar would pinch hit if it gets to the pitcher spot. So I kind of got ahead of myself there, I guess. But if we get to the pitcher spot, it'll be Gaspar to pinch hit, or it might be somebody else. We'll see. It won't be Kuzman, I can tell you that. But first things first, we need a new pitcher for the Cubs, and it will be Phil Regan. So Phil Regan will try to keep it right where it is. He's their closer, but in this situation, you kind of have to go with the best you got. Try to keep it right where it is. So Phil Regan will be on, and he will be facing Grody, Charles, and Weiss. Grody, Charles, and Weiss for the Mets. Regan pitching to Grody. 5-3, that's a walk chance. 17's too high. Go to Grody. 4-1, that's a star 2. Ground ball to second. 1 away. Brings up Ed Charles, third baseman. 3-5, and that's the ballpark card. Going back to Wrigley Field. Mets would like some insurance. 4-4, that's a single pass short. So base hit for Ed Charles. His attempt is a 3. Nothing happening. That'll bring up Al Weiss. And he's a good defensive player, so you don't want to take his defense out of the game. At 4 range is very good. So they're going to leave him in there. He's a good bunter, but there's already 1 out, so they're going to have to swing away. 3-4, that's a strikeout chance. 18's too much. Weiss does get to swing. 4-6, star 3, ground ball to second. Could be a double play. He's a 1, makes it a 2 that they're halfway. Pivot is the shortstop Kessinger. He's a 0. 1-2 for a double play. Nope, not going to happen. That's a 5. But it will be a fielder's choice because that 5 beats Charles' base running rating. So it will be a 4-6 fielder's choice. And now we will have a pinch hitter. And it may not be Gaspar. It may be somebody else because somebody else is a better hitter than Gaspar. So I got ahead of myself here. Let me bring in a pinch hitter, and then I'll put Gaspar down on the line below this one. Kind of got ahead of myself there. Sorry about that. Pinch hitting time for the Mets. And let's see who they got on the bench. You got Ken Boswell. He's a 279. You know what? Art Shamsky's the better one. He's a 300 hitter. So Art Shamsky is going to pinch hit. Art Shamsky. But Gaspar will still come into play right field because Shamsky's only a 1, so they're not going to mess with that. And actually, they won't need to double switch now because we got to the pitcher spot. So actually, Gaspar is going to be here. Rod Gaspar will be here. That's what happens when you get ahead of yourself. 4, 8, and a -2. All right. So Gaspar will take over in the 9th. And right now we need a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Art Shamsky. He will pinch hit. 300 hitter. Phil Regan now with a runner at first and 2 down. Strategy roll, nothing happening. It's pitched to Shamsky. 4-1, possible error on a ground ball. Shamsky 4-3, and that's a double to center field. How about that? A double to center field. And it's not going to be a ground ball. We're not checking the error on a ground ball on a double, I don't believe. I don't think that's even possible. Error on a ground ball double. Yeah, that's not really an error check, I don't believe, on that one. All right, so the fact is, Al Weiss, though, has a chance to score on that double. He runs at a 3. There are 2 outs, makes him a 4. Center fielder arm is a 0. To get from first to home on a double to center, you add 1, makes it a 5. So 1 to 5, he will score. And he does. RBI double for Art Shamsky. Pinch hit double for Art Shamsky, and the Mets now take a 2-run lead, 4-2. Maybe 9th inning magic in reverse, I don't know. But Art Shamsky comes through. Phil Regan looking dejected. Mets looking like they're going to play tomorrow, with a chance for the division to tie the division lead. Here's Cleon Jones, Regan. Nothing happening. Can't afford to give up another run. 2-4 is a possible error. 6-4. Ground ball to short. He's a 6. That's a 3. It'll be an error on Kessinger. He boots it. 1 base error. The inning continues. The inning will continue for Bud Harrelson. And the Cubs kind of falling apart here. Cleon Jones. His attempt is a 3. Let's see if he tries anything. Nope, he's not going to try anything. Regan to Harrelson. 4-6. That's a possible wild pitch. That's a 3. It will be a wild pitch, and it will score Shamsky from third base on the wild pitch. And now they're really falling apart. It is now 5-2 Cubs. 2 runs here in the 9th on that wild pitch. And now Mets are feeling pretty good about themselves. Strategy roll, nothing happening. 2-1, that's a range play to Harrelson. 1-5, fly to center. Range of Young is a 3. 1-3 to field this. And he can't get it. Is it a double? It is not. It's a single. But that could score the run. Cleon Jones runs pretty well. Cleon Jones runs at a 5. There are 2 outs. That makes him a 6. And to score on a single to center, you add 2. It makes him an 8. So he will score automatically. Yet another run in for the Mets. And now Ron Taylor has sat down. And I think they're going to bring in somebody else to relieve. And they're going to save Ron Taylor for tomorrow. They're going to save him, have him rested and ready to go tomorrow. They will not bring in Ron Taylor. They will bring in Jack Delauro, I think. So they're going to bring in Jack Delauro because now it's no longer a save situation. On the single from Bud Harrelson. Harrelson now, let's see, Regan has pitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is his 7th batter, so it's his last batter before he's tired. Regan to Harrelson, 5-6. He's a switch hitter batting left, so that's a blank. Go to Harrelson's card. 3-4. That's a ground ball to short, and the inning is finally over. But 3 runs for the Mets, and they now take a 6-2 lead into the bottom of the 9th. And Jack Delauro is on to finish it out for the Mets. If he gets in any kind of trouble, they do have Ron Taylor or Tug McGraw. They're both available in the bullpen if they're needed. But they're thinking that Delauro can do the job. We'll be facing Santo, Banks, and Hicks. So it won't be Ron Taylor, as I had written here. Again, getting ahead of myself. It'll be Jack Delauro. That's what I get for getting ahead of myself. All right, 6-2 ball game. There was some definitely Mets 9th inning magic. Is there any corresponding 9th inning magic for the Cubs? Delauro, 2-1. Ballpark card going to Wrigley. Maybe Wrigley's like Fenway. You know, they always say games never over at Fenway. Ballpark check for Santo, 4-2. That's a single plus. Now you're playing runner safe, but when you get a single plus, you are forced to try it. So he has to try to get there. The left fielder arm, Cleon Jones, is a +1. Santo's a 3, so that's a 4. 1-4, and he makes the double. 5, he holds. 6, he's out. And he's out. What a bonehead play by Ron Santo. A single, but he's thrown out 7-4. And that's one where I think that's a little bit unrealistic because to me, there's no way in the world you're trying for extra bases down 6-2, but that's the rule of the game, so that's what I'm playing by. Doesn't make baseball sense in that instance, but hey, you know, what are you going to do? Delauro, 6-5, walk chance, and he does walk Ernie Banks. So Delauro's not having the best time in the world. No strategy roll because of the score. Here's Hickman. Or do you pinch hit? Well, Hickman's already had a home run, so I don't think you pinch hit for Hickman, although you do have the left-hander Willie Smith coming on to pinch hit for somebody, probably for Don Young, if it gets to that. But right now it's Delauro against Hickman. Delauro's actually a lefty, my bad. I'm thinking he's right-handed. He's lefty. 1-4. 1-4 is a possible error check. 4-3, and against a left-hander, it makes a difference. That's a single. Single to first base, error check, that's an 8. Clendenin's an 11, so he will boot it. It's a single plus an error. Single plus an error, that's a 2-base advancement. Single plus the E3. And that will put runners at second and third. Second and third with 1 out for Randy Hundley. Infield is back, of course. They need an out. They'll give the run for that. 4-6 is blank. Hundley, 6-1. Fly to right. Let's see if that's a sacrifice fly chance. He's got a sac fly rating of 1. Nope, not going to happen. Gaspar is a -2 arm, so they probably don't even want to risk this. Ernie Banks is only a 1, so he can't. He cannot move up. It's just a fly to right for out number 2. And that brings up Don Young. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Do they have anybody on the bench that's better? Like I said, Willie Smith is a lefty, so I don't really want to bring him in against the left-hander because he is very ineffective. But I don't think they have much else on the bench right-handed wise. They do have a switch hitter named Qualls, who's a .250 hitter. But I think you got to stick with Young. All right, so 2 down. And Delauro to Young, 5-6. That's a walk chance. He will not walk against the lefty. So you skip that. It's a blank. Go to Young. 5-1. Ground ball to third, and there's your ball game. Mets win it 6-2, and they will advance to play the Cubs tomorrow on October 2nd, the last game of the season, with a chance to tie for the division lead as they are now 1 game back. With this victory, the Mets go to 95-66. They are 95-66. Cubbies are 96-65 for a difference of 1 game. So it all comes down to tomorrow. And it'll be Bill Hands for the Cubs against Gary Gentry for the Mets. Now, let's look at the ticker to see if the Giants have clinched the division. LA and Houston is your first game. So we'll write in the Mets winning by the score of 6-2. So now, Houston, 2 through 6 or an 11. They can eliminate the Dodgers if they roll a 2 through 6 or an 11. That's an 11, so they beat the Dodgers, and it's all over. Doesn't matter what San Fran does. And they beat San Diego anyway. So San Francisco is your National League West champion. They will await the winner of either the Cubs or the Mets. And that is the game. That is the game right here for the next game. Gentry against Hands. And I'm not going to worry about the ticker for the last 2 because it doesn't matter. All we're worried about is the final game. Mets and Cubs, it all comes down to this, as they are 1 game back with that 1 game left to play. Cubs 96-65, Mets 95-66, 1 game back. It all comes down to tomorrow. Gary Gentry against Bill Hands, right back here at Wrigley. It's going to decide it. And so we'll see who plays the Giants. And of course, I will be doing an NLCS. I don't know. I have to look and see who had the home field. I don't know if that was determined by record or by predetermined by division. If it's by record, then of course either the Cubs or Mets would get the home field just because of their record. But if it's predetermined that the West got the home field, which I thought Atlanta got the home field in the NLCS, but it could be because they had a better record. I'll have to look it up and see what it is. But anyway, the men of the hour, the men that are going to be put to the task. These two guys right here, Gary Gentry and Bill Hands. Just at first glance, the Cubs look like they have the advantage. Hands is a 20-game winner with a 2.49 ERA. Gentry 13-12 with a 3.42. But Gentry's not a bad pitcher. And plus, you got to figure, Mets have a well-rested bullpen, so they can run out Nolan Ryan, Tug McGraw, and Ron Taylor, if need be, out of their bullpen. So I think they got a better bullpen than the Cubs do. It's just a matter of if it gets down to that, or whether the starting pitching of the Cubs and their offense makes the bullpens mute. We shall see, or a moot point, I should say. All right, so that's going to do it from here. I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch 1969 style. And again, tune in for the next game. It'll be, and I think I'm going to put the Nationals kind of to the side until I get this all done. So it will be the Mets and the Cubs, game 162 on October the 2nd, to decide it all. And if the Mets win, then we have a one-game playoff. And I'll actually flip a coin and see where the game's going to be played. And it will be Tom Seaver against Ferguson Jenkins if we get to that. But that's a big if. We shall see how that plays out. So, hope you enjoyed that presentation. Hope you enjoy playing whatever game you happen to choose to play, whether it's Stratomatic, Inside Pitch, whatever. PC game, whatever your... pick your poison, as they say. A lot of games out there. A lot of opportunities to pick different games to use and to enjoy the hobby with. The important part is that you enjoy the hobby. That's the primary, no matter what game you play, and no matter what people think of the game that you happen to play, whether people like it or not, that's irrelevant. It's all about you having fun. So that's going to do it from here. Till next time, stay safe out there, and we will see you all down the road.